You worked on Chuck, which had how many main characters were in that one? What was your cast?
Probably 10.
It was magic what they did together. What's the key to bringing that ensemble together? It can't clearly be just talent. I mean, it's same with like sports. Like what is that chemistry to put together an ensemble like that for a hit show?
Well, I think that first and foremost they hired people who were good at what they do.
Yeah.
And then it just happened that everybody was really cool to work with, and everybody were really good people.
I'm comedian Timmy Boyle, and this is the greatest live Instagram comedy experience that nobody knew about.
Cheers. Well, welcome everybody to another episode of Calling Comedians in Cquarantine. It is 7 o'clock on some day. Who knows when? We have had an interesting 3 weeks here, just kind of being in my living room. And I'd like to welcome all of you for joining me from your living room into my living room. Marijane Baker says at 7:01 I was starting to worry. Well, that was because I decided that at about 6:58 I was going to have a quick snack right before coming on the show. And so I ate into this, it's a Kind bar, and I'm going to tell you what, it got all stuck in my teeth, and then I was running to the bathroom and trying to brush my teeth, and then I was like, oh, it's almost 7. So I got to stop doing that. Like, I could have had a snack at, say, 6:30, 6:45, but I didn't. Granny Smith 4645, we're here. That's cool. I am so happy that you're here, Granny Smith 4645. I am here too, as well as other people that are coming in. Some of the people that we're seeing right now have been joining us for quite a while here on the show, while others are new. But I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Whatever you've been doing in Cquarantine, this is a great opportunity for us to just spend some time together. Mark Christopher Lawrence has shown up here in the room, and we're going to be bringing him here in 1 second. But just for the record, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Timmy Boyle. You are watching Calling Comedians in Cquarantine. This is episode 22. We've been calling comedians from all around North America, just talking about comedy and life and Cquarantine, finding out what people have been doing. This is a chance for you to kind of maybe laugh with us, be encouraged by us, and get a chance to see us in our off-stage environment, which I think is an interesting thing. Sometimes people think all I do is walk around in a suit all day and drink orange juice. I do drink orange juice, but I'm currently not even wearing pants. So it's kind of a big drop-off. But that's what this show is about, just trying to be a little bit real during this quarantine time. So let's bring in Mark Christopher Lawrence here and see how this journey goes. Here we go. Mark Christopher Lawrence. He's unable to join. Why is he unable to join? Uh-oh. Are we having technical problems? Let's try again. Here we go. Waiting. Connecting. Mark, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Doing good. What a nice day.
Southern California, baby. This is how we do it.
Wow. Where are you? In like a storage locker facility?
Yeah, I had to go find something in my storage.
What are you looking for? Old comedy jokes?
No, I'm looking for an assistant. There he is.
I'm social distancing. You are. He is. He definitely is social distancing. That's so cool, man. You're looking good.
I'm feeling good, man. I'm just, just trying to make the best out of a situation that we have no control over.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's what I've been telling people. I was down getting groceries a couple days ago, and they were talking about people that have been coming in, getting all irritated at them for all the restrictions that they have, like spacing and stuff. And I'm like, what are people getting mad about? Like, nobody planned this.
Yeah, exactly. People will allow themselves to get all gnarled up about any and everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is a situation where we have no control over it. So why bother being mad?
Well, what's bother being mad in general? It doesn't really help us out live life, and you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Hey,
Exactly. So,
Crystal here is asking you during quarantine, are you maintaining your Clydesdale diet? What's your Clydesdale diet?
uh, no, it's kind of hard to maintain my Clydesdale diet. Clydesdale mostly consists of hay.
Of
Hey,
hay?
give me some of this. Hey, how about some of that?
Oh, so,
But
so you've got
I
that.
mean, it's like getting to the store and actually buying stuff that's on my real diet is kind of difficult because sometimes you go in there and nothing that I need is available.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, which is bad because it forces me to eat whatever, and you can't just leave me to whatever because I'm going to choose the bad whatever every time.
Now, have you found that the quarantine situation has caused you to eat worse or better? Because there's a lot of people online saying now they're just sitting around eating snacks, and then there's other people I'm seeing that have chosen to go healthy. How have you been doing?
I eat better when I'm at home. Just being at home,
Yeah.
I make better choices because I can cook every meal. But I think uh, the biggest part for me is I'm staying up too late,
Mm,
and when I do that, then I tend to eat too late.
right.
Somebody know that noise,
What are those people doing outside?
right? Yeah. So I think I have to control better when I eat.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't have that under control. That right now that's ruling me.
Well, I have definitely been finding that by not being on the road, um, I actually feel a little more relaxed. I think I'm better rested, and I think I'm eating better in general. It's almost been a nice little break for me.
It's tough on the road. Like when you're on the road, it's like the date night tour, for example.
Yeah,
It's like the schedule was so grueling that you try to sleep as long as you can, and then next thing you know, it's 3 o'clock. You got to be at the theater,
yeah,
and then once you start that process, then you're not eating until after the show, and then it's Tim Hortons.
yeah, yeah. And
You know,
Boston Pizza, or Tim Hortons, the only things
right,
that are open.
exactly. And so sometimes we weren't near a Boston Pizza,
Yeah,
so at least at Boston Pizza I could get a salad or something. But
right.
Tim Hortons, not a whole lot of healthy going on in there.
Well, it is good to see you, and that was the last time I did see you was on the date night tour. And for those who are tuning in right now, my name's Timmy Boyle. Mark Christopher Lawrence is below here, unless your phone is upside down. And you were watching Calling Comedians in Quarantine. So the last time we saw each other was on date night. I think it was in St. Catharines. We were doing a taping.
Oh yeah. That St. Catherine's was great. It was a lot of fun. The energy was amazing. I just saw on YouTube yesterday the interviews that we did.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so they're up and running on YouTube.
Oh, I think that was yeah. I think Andy sent me that, and we have all of our interviews and just clips from the show.
Um, I, I don't think they had any. I didn't see any clips from the show, but
Okay,
but I think I think that probably means that there's some clips somewhere.
that's
I'd
cool.
love to get that footage.
Well, we're supposed to be getting it. Hey, Christina Larice is in here. She just came in. She was the one who interviewed us
Oh, cool.
for Yes TV there. So, Christina, welcome.
Hey, Christina.
We want all that footage, Christina. So hook us up whenever you can. But yeah, watching those videos, they were amazing to work with. Hey, I wanted to talk a little bit just about comedy in general with you. You started though. Is this true? You started in Compton. That's where, like, literally straight out of Compton. That's where you grew up.
Yeah, I grew up in Compton.
And was comedy a way to cope with life? Was it just a random life decision? How did comedy become part of your journey?
Well, I was a funny kid, and then when I got to high school, my English teacher, Mrs. Schilling, got me involved in speech and debate and acting, and then she introduced me to a guy who was a mentor who got me involved in comedy with my best friend Lennon, I think Lennon was really the driving force of me doing comedy,
Hmm.
but Perry put me on the first show. He was um, at USC at the time, and he produced a show called Evening of Soul, and he put me on one of those shows, and I didn't even have an act at that point. So he
Right.
taught me how to shape and act.
Yeah.
And then I went to the Comedy Store. Lennon took me to the Comedy Store and said, "Hey, you got to get on stage and do this." So I signed up for potluck at Comedy Store and did 3 minutes, and I was funny, and that was the beginning. And I was in the 11th grade.
Now that was straight stand up, but you've spent 30 plus years like doing TV, movies as well. Like when did the
Yeah.
acting take part of that?
Well, I did my first play with Mrs. Schilling in,
Yeah.
in high school, and then when I got to college, I was a junior and auditioned for the USC Bachelor of Fine Arts acting program and got in.
Okay.
And so it's a 4-year program. They put me in as a sophomore, and I started working professionally the same year in theater. And my first TV show was Hill Street Blues. So my
Oh,
very
no
first
kidding.
audition for television, I got the job.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, do
One
you
of
do
the
you have do you have a preference one way or the other? Do you like being behind the camera? Or do you like being on the stage?
I like stage better than film and TV because it's like stand up. You get that live feedback. You
Yeah.
affect you affect people immediately. Uh, with with TV and film, you got to wait and see if the editor does you a good turn.
Right. Yeah. It really is in someone else's hand or a few people's hands, I guess.
Yeah. Well, for example, like in Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith, our big scene together, my best take was the second take,
Okay.
and they used his best take.
Right. Because he's Will Smith.
So clearly, with that in mind, I just like the immediacy of having that energy from the live audience. So I love stage. It just doesn't pay.
The state, yeah, that's funny because it doesn't pay regardless. But I mean, right now, like I went to school for film and television. That's still my favorite medium. But
Yeah.
for now, for me, it's the live performance that pays, and so it's like hustling to get those gigs and then trying to find a way to open up those other doors. But
Right. I always tell people that when I was hustling as an opener for some years, I would tell people that was my day job. Comedy is my day job, and my regular gig is acting.
right, yeah. Hey, now there's a question here about Chuck. Now, so if you go to like IMDb, which I always do with everybody that I'm talking to, just to kind of see, it says you're best known for Terminator 2, but I would say you're best known for Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck, followed by Fear of a Black Hat.
Okay.
I don't think people know me from Terminator 2.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what they say. They say you're best known for Terminator 2. So
Yeah.
this follower here is asking about a Chuck reunion. Is that a possibility? Is that something that is?
Stick close to my IG this week. Big announcement coming probably sometime this week about something.
Okay, all right. You heard it here on Calling Comedians in Cquarantine.
So I would say people just follow me and you'll see that there's something exciting coming down with Chuck.
That's beautiful. Lana, who I think you know as well from up here on the tour,
Yes.
she said that my ultimate goal was to be on Who's the Boss because I wanted to be with Alyssa Milano. That's her back there.
Oh yeah.
You never crossed paths with her, have you?
No, but my friend Jay Lamont loves her, so you and he would have to fight over her.
Okay, well you get them to connect with me because that's my celebrity crush. I met her once. I gave her a copy of my book, and she smiled, so I know she read it. But I would love to be able to connect with her again.
Yeah, if I ever run into her, I'll let her know.
Oh, please do. Hey, who was your celebrity crush growing up when you were watching TV? Who did you have one?
Oh, there were a couple. I Dream of Jeannie.
Yeah.
And Thelma from Good Times, who I was just enamored with, and she ended up playing my wife in a commercial.
Oh wow, you actually got to work with your celebrity crush?
Yeah. And then as I got older, it became Selma Hayek.
Okay, yeah, all right. You got some good choices there. Hey, I saw you also worked on George Wendt's show. Now, I think Cheers to me is one of the best sitcoms that have ever been created.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? What was it like working? I always like hearing about. I heard about Ted Danson from Joel Madison a little while ago, and he's very, or not from George. Who did I see that from? Robert G. Lee said Ted Danson was a great dude, and that really made me feel good. How was George Wendt to work with?
So I've worked with George. I've worked with John Ratzenberger, and I've worked with Shelley Long.
Nice.
And George is amazing to work with. Just a generous guy. We might not talk for a couple of years, and then when we talk, it's like we just worked yesterday. Just
Nice.
a great guy. John Ratzenberger, he and I hit it off immediately. We were both in That Darn Cat for Disney, and
Okay.
he's directing a lot of stuff now. But he and I are friends. And then Shelley, she was on a show. She had a show called Kelly that I did with her. I did all 13 episodes of her show.
Nice.
And it didn't go anywhere, but she was nice by then.
By then. Now you worked on a show. You worked on Chuck, which had how many main characters were in that one? What was your cast?
Probably 10.
Okay, so that's a big cast. I mean, that's what I thought.
That's a big cast.
That's what I thought made Cheers really stand out above some of the other sitcoms, is because it wasn't just 3 or 4 people. It was a larger group, and it was magic what they did together.
It's an ensemble piece, and clearly, like with Chuck, there were 2 elements of it. There was the spy world, and then there was the Buy More world, and I always said that the Buy More could stand on its own as a show, as a sitcom, without the spy stuff. And then there was a show called there's a show recently that came out that's very similar to what the Buy More was. So I was right.
So what's the key to bringing that ensemble together? It can't clearly be just talent. I mean, it's same with like sports. Like what is that chemistry to put together an ensemble like that for a hit show?
Well, I think that first and foremost they hired people who were good at what they do.
Yeah.
And then it just happened that everybody was really cool to work with, and everybody were really good people. And so it was nice to be on a show with people that were really good people, and that's what it was.
What are you working on right now? I think I saw somewhere that you have a talk show somewhere. Is that true?
Well, I have 6 episodes of a talk show on pureflix.com.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're going to do any more. We just didn't get the numbers up. And if I had to do it again, I would do it a little bit differently. I'm working on my one-man show, which is a theater piece, which hopefully I can get that up and running sometime by the end of the year. But now with this, I don't know. I mean, I have time to write, but I don't have time to when this is over, I don't think I'll have time to workshop it. I'll have to be grinding to keep the bills paid. I got a couple of movies that kind of are on hold because of this. Mm-hmm. And I'm pitching a show, a TV show, and hopefully that will happen. If that happens, I think I'll be really excited, because that's something that we actually took out and pitched to a company right around the time big 2.5 Men were blowing up, being huge, and the timing just wasn't right. And now the timing was right until this until COVID came in.
So what are you doing? What are you doing to stay busy then? I mean, you're obviously, you were very busy. I mean, none of us are out on the road right now, but what are you doing?
I'm trying to recapture my desk in my office, and I'm in my storage unit trying to make some room, because my sister is doing some stuff at her house, and she has a piece of furniture that I want, and so I had to make some room for it over here. So, I'm piddling around. I taught a couple of Shakespeare workshops for VIP Ignite on Facebook, and I'm working on me a little bit, on some of my stuff that I feel like I need to work on me, getting my patience together, and clearly trying to work my weight some, and that sort of thing, and that's about it.
Well, I think, I mean, we've been talking a lot, especially over this show and talking to different comics and stuff. And I think I've been trying to tell people that even though there's so much bad going on, like I'm finding that there's been a lot of time for me to um, process about me, all those things that we wanted to do, but we couldn't because we were too busy.
Yeah,
Projects that were always pushed to the back. Whether it could
yeah,
be house cleaning, it could be for me. There was a lot of comedic stuff that I wanted to get done,
yeah,
projects that I wanted to do. Even a show like this, I was always kind of going, I should do something like this, but I don't have the right lighting, I don't have the right sound. And then this comes down and forces you to go, you know what? Like, stop being so perfectionist and just start
right.
creating. That's what you love to
Just get
do.
it done.
And
Yeah,
it's been really kind of freeing in the same, like I'm stuck in my living room essentially, but there's a sense of freedom that's happening in my life right now, on so many levels, which has been really unexpected.
yeah. It's funny too because since it's been down, I've done a lot of interviews,
Yeah.
and and uh, and I actually got a job yesterday. Somebody called me and offered me, a role in a film, and they don't know when it's going to shoot yet, but hopefully it'll work out with the other two. I don't have to jump through the hoops for it. That's the good thing.
Yeah, I think the hustle for me, because I'm always looking, like my next gig is my next paycheck, and the
Yeah.
hustle to try to keep booking, and nobody's booking anything now, right? People
No.
like people will say, yeah, let's talk about that, but there's going to be no deposit checks being sent. There's going to be nothing
Nope.
like that.
Nope.
So it's really allowed me to just kind of live in the moment and create now. And I think what it's going to do is put myself, and I think a lot of entertainers, in a position that coming out of this thing, we might even have more exposure than we ever gave ourselves before, because we've had time to kind of do stuff like this and to market.
Right.
It's been pretty amazing.
Well, I've noticed that my Instagram is growing. Like the past couple of days, I picked up a couple of hundred followers, and I think the biggest thing from this is coming out of this, uh, because the first couple of days I was worried because I was losing gigs every day.
Yeah.
All from mid-March through June, I got nothing anymore. All of
Right.
that's gone.
Yeah.
And then I hadn't booked much in June anyway because I was thinking I was going to take a little vacation, and and so really, I have one gig on the books for June. That's a thing that I produce. But if that doesn't happen, then I have nothing till July, and in July is thin as well. So
Yeah.
what do you do? I can't worry about it. So I just put my trust in God and go, you know what? God's going to bring me through this. It's going to be what it's going to be. And I think that the thing that I'm finding out about myself is I'm okay with it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm not panicking.
What I've loved about, because I was so happy to have you up here on our tour, and not just on date night, but here on the circuit tour up here.
Yeah.
And what I loved about touring with you is not only your comedic talent, and the conversations we were able to have, but the positive spirit and the positive outlook. And I can imagine that that's obviously helping in a time like this, because you perceive life with a hopeful spirit, which is crucial, I think.
Yeah, it's like years ago, a good friend of mine, he's one of my best friends from college. I was stressing over rent and phone bills and all that, and he was like, you know what? Here's the thing. He says, you're going to come through this.
Mm-hmm.
He says, and it may turn out the way you want it to, and it may not. He says, but the thing is, you'll get through it. And the thing you don't have any control over is how long it's going to take.
Right.
And once that clicked in my head, I got this feeling of just relax about everything. It's like some things are out of my control.
Mm-hmm.
I spent a number of years going, man, why isn't my career where I want it to be right now? Why am I not doing this or I'm not doing that? And the thing is that you can't look at somebody else and at what they're doing and think, I should be doing that or whatever. You got to follow your own journey and be comfortable with your journey. And then when things start opening up, you'll be fine. It's like, and I clearly see a point when, for me as a stand-up, because I stopped stand-up for 3 years and because I was acting so much, and then got back into it, And then when I did, it was like starting over, you know. But once I hit my stride and got to the point where I felt like, okay, I'm still a headliner, and and started getting back into it. And then there came a point where things just started falling into place. So like from for example, from the start of the date night tour, from just before that started through May, my books were full. It's like I had no weekends available. It's like I was really busy, and then it became, how do I juggle these acting things that are coming up? That's a good place to be.
Yeah.
And so now that my schedule is cleared, I'm not worried about it, because I know that I'm in a place where I'll come out of this and things will come back. And I think for me, the biggest thing is to just relax, enjoy this time, write while I'm off, while I have time to write. And then I think the only thing about writing comedy when in this environment is that I don't really have a stage to put them on right now. I mean, I could put them up on Instagram. I could do stuff live, but it's not the same when you have the audience there, because you don't really know the timing of it until you're in front of an audience. So so my next few gigs, I'll be sliding in new bits in between stuff that I know that works.
Well, I can tell you that I went into this year really going, I'm going to take everything up a level. This was going to be a year. I just finished coming out of I think I'm in year 11 now of full time. And I was like, you know what? I really need to go up a level. I got to push myself, got to do more stuff. And then this happened, and we ended up having to cancel some tours. And I was just like, oh no, this takes me down. But then I'm fine. And like you said, we don't know. You can plan all you want, but I've actually been able to do some stuff now in something that looked bad initially, because I'm going, oh, well, now I'm going to take a step back. This was supposed to be like a year of growth. Right. I think the year of growth is still happening. It's just happening in a way I didn't expect it.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like we have to take this as an opportunity to see what good can come of it.
Yeah. And good will come out of everything, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to get ready to go here. I want to thank you for being on here, though. Crystal's Punny asks, though, do you have a favorite Corona joke? I mean, everybody's got a Corona joke. Do you have one?
Yeah, there's been a lot of Corona jokes going around. I saw one the other day that I tagged, and basically, that joke was people are going to come out of this either really good cooks or really good drunks. And I was like, well, then some of y'all are going to come out of here really knocked up. And you're going to be dropping baby names like COVID with a K, and Cquarantine with a Q, or COVID with a Q. This is my new COVID-19 baby.
That is for sure going to happen. Well, that's the bell, my friend, which signals that we're getting ready to end this show.
Thank you, sir.
What would be something that you would leave with our viewers right now as a source of laughter or encouragement? However, what is your last statement here to everybody?
I would say, cling to your faith, talk to your friends, get on the phone, get on Zoom, get on Instagram and Facebook Live and talk to people, and check in on people, your people that you love and care for, and even some that you don't, and make sure that they're okay. So basically stay happy, stay healthy, and by all means, stay safe.
That's awesome, man. Where can everybody find you? How do
Mark
they do
Christopher Lawrence on Instagram, Mark Christopher Lawrence, Facebook, Mark Christopher Lawrence, or MCL actor comedian on Facebook, Mark CHR Lawrence on Twitter. But if you can't remember any of that, go to markchristopherlawrence.com, and there's links to everything.
That's beautiful, man. I love you a lot. I hope that once this thing ends, we'll be able to get on the stage again together, and just stay well. Okay.
Love you too, brother. And yeah, let's I'm going to be calling you because I'm going to need a gig.
let's go. We'll do it. We'll do it. I'm looking for people for season 10 once we're allowed to go back out, man. So we'll be in touch.
Let's get it done.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
Take care of yourself.
Thanks, Mark.
Peace.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Calling Comedians in Cquarantine. Please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, and ring the little bell so you and your friends don't miss any of the laughs. Episodes will be uploaded here until I run out. And be sure to check out the description below for links to connect with myself or my guests on social media, and also download the podcast version of this show. Until next time, remember, your brain, it's for thinking, not for eating. So just say no to zombies.